Mighty Money London. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Commodity TV in the virtual edition for you. And we want to talk to Kuya Silver and the CEO David Stein for an update on this terrific silver opportunity in Peru. Hey, how are you doing, David? Good to see you.
I'm good. Thank you, Jochen. How are you?
Perfect. Thanks. All fine. And you are already in London. It's really a shame that I'm not, but the travel restrictions don't allow it, unfortunately. The risk is too high. Anyhow, we have the chance to talk about your wonderful company and wonderful project. And I saw you have just acquired a real nice land position around the Bethania project, which is located in Peru, which you want to bring in production. So 2,300 hectares of land, a nice package, and you won the auction against little lovely companies like Newmont and Penoles. And I mean, what have you done? Jesus, that's fantastic.
Well, so there ended up around the Bethania Mine being a pretty large package of open ground that we applied for or staked basically last year. However, a number of other companies staked it at the same time, and the Peruvian rules I guess state that ends up going to an auction process, a closed sealed bid auction process. So that happened. That auction actually finally happened early in November. So basically a year after the staking happened, and of course it was delayed due to COVID and other administrative issues, but finally happened. And we've really been waiting and honestly keeping very quiet about this for the past year. We've sort of had to for strategic reasons. We don't want to create additional value on these properties before we buy them. So we were able to participate in the auction. Of 27 blocks that we bid on, we won 22 of them. So, and very importantly, we got a big essentially package of properties immediately adjoining the Bethania Mine property, or the mine concession, the original one, and so that really expands our footprint in the immediate mine area, which is really important. It was the property that we had before was a little on the small side at 45 hectares, although there's lots of potential at depth and even along strike there. We were very, very happy to explore there for many years. But having now to the north and south of that gives us way, way more potential, and we know that there is mineralization there. We've seen it with our own testing that we've done, our own analysis, and there's also government reports that suggest that there's been some samples taken there historically, and geologists that have visited there and observed mineralization. And so we are very excited to sort of put all that together and really expand the footprint of Bethania. Some of the other properties we acquired essentially give us now a connection between Bethania and Carmelita, so it's now connected completely with our own properties, which is good as well. And there's
so that means you have also easy access to Carmelita then.
Well, I mean, access is kind of a different story anyway to mineral rights, but nevertheless, it does give us a lot more ground in between, because there certainly is more potential there. It's a little longer term. I think in the immediate term, we're focusing around the Bethania sort of immediate, let's say, kilometer radius around the mine. And then kind of similar, same thing at Carmelita. But, I gradually will get out into the field, and I'm sure we'll find more interesting veins and structures to look at, to explore.
Absolutely. I have a good feeling too here. Before we start with that, because you have also some work going on there already, how much have you paid, and what are the holding costs annually for all those concessions?
Well, so the auction for all 22 properties that we ended up winning was about 565,000 US. It was in Peruvian soles, of course, so that's rounding, but it was roughly that amount, and that's just a one-time fee. And then the annual holding costs will be should be under $100,000 a year for the whole package.
So that's well manageable, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay. Super. I saw also in your press release from 15th November, because you had several news releases in November,
Hmm.
that you have commenced the phase 2 Bethania exploration program. And that was quite interesting for me, because you have mobilized a team to conduct a minimum of 7,000 meters of trenching samples in the hilltop zone and main Bethania mine area. Why are such long trenching samples so important for you versus, let's say, more drilling, for example? What is the difference?
Well, we're very lucky with Bethania that the mineral structures, and i.e. the veins, almost all of them seem to go right to surface.
Mhm.
So by trenching, we're able to get some really good data quickly and cheaply before we go and drill. So the intention would be to drill following up on the trenching, but the trenching it's just a tremendous way to really get more detail as to the veins, the orientation, some of the structures like the branching and the intersections, which can be very important intersections between two veins. So we can get a lot more details on that by trenching and taking a lot of samples, which we intend to do. And we're already started doing that, by the way.
Mhm.
We did a little bit earlier on in 2021, and we got a lot of value for that. What we did in early 2021, I would call more prospecting, where essentially we were just following veins that we could see. We did do some digging as well, but we're certainly doing this. This is more methodical program that we're doing now, and a lot bigger. And we expect to get really good results from it.
So, but you're doing this also parallel on the Carmelita concessions, right?
So the idea would be to move over to Carmelita once we're done at Bethania with the team, and then
Mhm.
probably bring in the drills to Bethania while we're trenching Carmelita. So there's always some
Mhm.
at both properties going forward into 2022.
Okay, super. So what would be, let's say, then the status of the work to accelerate Bethania towards production? What is going on there, and what would be, let's say, the major steps in 2022?
Okay, well, the construction permit for the mill, we're at very, very late stages on.
Mhm.
So, I would just have people, investors watch for that. That's going to be very important, because from that point on, that allows us to go in and put shovels in the ground and
Mhm.
start working. Um, we may be able to do some certain jobs. We may be able to start them earlier. So
Mhm.
stay tuned for that. We're always evaluating what we can do there
Mhm.
to keep things moving, and we do have some ideas there. So stay tuned on that. But
Mhm.
I would say the once we get the construction permit, then we'll start tackling the various jobs, which is the mill, tailings,
Mhm.
infrastructure, and surface infrastructure, and
Mhm.
the underground mine development. Those are all sort of four different jobs that all go into the expansion program, and
Mhm.
we'll be tackling them all in early 2022.
Mhm. So the big question is, because I'm a shareholder of your company too, can you say a little bit of a time idea? Would it be in the first half next year? I know it's tricky.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely should be
Mhm.
well in that time frame. Yeah.
Okay, super. Then let's move from Peru to Canada, because you launched your second drill program at the Silver Kings project in Ontario. How is it
Yep.
going there?
Well, it's going well. We've probably drilled 4 or 5 holes by now.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, it's the Silver Kings joint venture is kind of more of a grassroots, earlier stage
Mhm.
exploration program, but we're very excited about it. We see potential in the joint venture area to find not just one vein, but multiple veins, and essentially like a whole new zone, a whole new area, district,
Mhm.
maybe not district, but a whole new cluster, we call them. So we're working on that now, and I mean the geology looks very, very interesting, and stay tuned.
Okay, super. So I saw the Oxbow area is a thing like of interest here, I would say, and it's a
Right.
relatively untested zone. And I saw in your press release that over the past 120 years it was almost not touched. So is there room for some positive surprises?
Definitely, there is room. I mean, the reason why the Oxbow target wasn't touched is because the favorable horizon that hosts the silver veins would be deeper there, a little deeper. You know, we're not talking super deep, but it just doesn't come to surface.
Mhm.
And most of the historical mining in the cobalt camp period was on veins and deposits that came right to surface.
Mhm.
So anywhere where there's a bit of cover, even if it's 50 or 100 meters,
Mhm.
is very, very interesting for us. And that's part of our strategy for the Silver Kings joint venture, is to figure out where we think the favorable horizon is. Just a little bit deeper, where we've got structures, where we've got the right rocks, host rocks, and those are going to be targets for us. And Oxbow is the first one.
Okay, super. So lots of news flow probably in the new year here, and things look quite good, I would say, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're recording this on end of November, so we will have more news out before the end of this year,
Oh, okay.
and we'll continue into January as well. So there will be lots of news coming on Kuya.
Super, perfect. Then I have a good feeling that we talk very soon. Great. David, thank you very much. Wish you good luck with the show, because I think tomorrow starts then Mines and Money that
Correct.
not too many people are missing. So all the best for that.
Thank you.
And yeah, keep safe and talk soon to you. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Mines and Money, Commodity TV in the virtual edition. And you heard it. Kuya Silver, David Stein, the CEO, said it. They are progressing quite well. They just won a huge bid on a land package they really needed and really deserve, of course, and around the Bethania mine, but also with the Silver Kings project, things are going the smooth way. And as he said, they expect some good news, in front of Christmas. So maybe as a nice Christmas present for us. I'm a shareholder too. Check out the company. Thanks for watching us, and bye-bye from Switzerland.